solve for a variable. So these problems are the altitude hypotenuse problems. So remember what's going to happen is that the three segments that go to the hypotenuse of the biggest triangle, so in this case where the x, y, and z are, we're going to square those sides and multiply the pieces that correspond with them. So when we're solving for x, we want to multiply 7 and the other piece, which if the whole thing is 12 minus 7 gets us 5. So we would have x squared equals 7 times 5, x squared equals 35, so we can take the square root of both sides, or the square root of 35. We don't need to include plus and minus because we can't have negative lengths. Let's move to y. So we would have y squared equals the piece that's closest to y, which is 5, and then the whole side, which is 12. So 5 times 12, y squared equals 60. So y is the square root of 60, which simplifies to 2 root 15. Then we'd have z. So z squared equals the side that's closest to it, which is 7, times the whole length, which is 12. 7 times 12 is 84. So z equals the square root of 84, which simplifies to 2 root 21. In 10, we need to solve for x and y. Now, I can't solve for y right away because I don't know this length and I already have one variable there. So I'm going to use the 20 to solve for x first. So 20 is a segment that's going to the hypotenuse of the biggest triangle, so we would have 20 squared equals the piece closest to 20. If we know the whole length is 40 and part of its x is going to be 40 minus x, so we'd have 40 minus x times the whole length, which is 40. We're going to distribute the 40 and square the 20, so 400 equals 1600 minus 40x. We can subtract 1600 from both sides, so we get negative 1200 equals negative 40x. When we divide, we get x is 30. So if x is 30, that makes this part 10. Then we can use those numbers to solve for y. So because y is also a segment going to the hypotenuse, it's the altitude actually, we would have y squared equals 30 times 10. Y squared equals 300. Take the square root of both sides, so plus or minus square root of 300, which simplifies to plus or minus 10 root 3.